Thank you for joining us for Comets Giving Day. Rainer Schulte will give us an introduction for the presentation today.
This is Rainer Schulte. I'm the director of the Translation Center, which has been in existence for 40 years, and we continue to celebrate the future and also the exchange with other cultures, which has become more and more important. And we have several programs this afternoon. We have a bilingual reading, and we also have the display of proverbs that come from different languages. Bilingual reading will be done by Johnny Becker and David Bouillon. It just happens that both of them are sitting in Berlin rather than in Dallas, where the Translation Center is at the University of Texas at Dallas. The Translation Center is also continuously interested in raising money for the future because centers depend greatly on the donors of the outside, and we hope to continue that in the future. My own feeling is that translation has become more and more important for the transmission of cultural exchanges and also for the revitalization of the reading of literary texts and the study of the humanities. So we will begin then, first of all, with the presentation of a poem by Heinrich Heine, a very well-known German author, Mondscheintrunkene, and the reading will be done by Johnny Becker and David Bouillon in German and in French. It is important that we continue to listen to the sound of other languages, which makes it easier then for the interaction and the cultural exchange. So thank you again, Jonathan Becker and David Bouillon, for doing the reading, the bilingual reading at this point. Please.
Thank you for having us. Mondscheintrunkene Lindenblüten, 1844 by Heinrich Heine. Mondscheintrunkene Lindenblüten, sie ergießen ihre Düfte und von Nachtigallenliedern sind erfüllet Laub und Lüfte. Lieblich lässt es sich, Geliebter, unter dieser Linde sitzen, wenn die goldenen Mondeslichter durch des Baumes Blätter blitzen. Sieh dies, Lindenblatt, du wirst es wie ein Herz gestaltet finden. Darum sitzen die Verliebten auch am liebsten unter Linden. Doch du lächelst wie verloren in entfernten Sehnsuchtsträumen. Sprich, Geliebter, welche Wünsche dir im lieben Herzen keimen. Ach, ich will es dir, Geliebte, gern bekennen, ach, ich möchte, dass ein kalter Nordwind plötzlich weißes Schneegestöber brächte. Und dass wir mit Pelz bedecket und im bunt geschmückten Schlitten, Schellen klingelnd, Peitschen knallend, über Fluss und Fluren glitten. Linden Blossoms Drunk with Moonlight, translated by Edgar Alfred Bowring. Linden blossoms drunk with moonlight fly about in fragrant showers, and the nightingale's sweet music fills the air in leafy bowers. Ah, how sweet it is, my loved one, 'neath these lindens to be sitting, when the glimmering golden moonbeams through the fragrant leaves are flitting. If thou lookest on the lime leaf, thou a heart's form will discover. Therefore are the lindens ever chosen seats of each fond lover. Yet thou smilest as though buried in far distant visions yearning. Speak, beloved, all the wishes that in thy dear heart are burning. Ah, my darling, I will tell thee whence my thoughts proceed and whither. Fain I'd see the chilly north wind sudden bring white snowstorms hither, so that we with furs well covered, and in gaudy sledges riding, cracking whips with bells loud ringing, might over stream and plain be gliding.
Slide, please. For these slides, we have various proverbs in various languages and translated into English from a different language or from English into a different language. David, you can go ahead and begin the Baudelaire poem.
Okay. L'Albatros de Charles Baudelaire, 1861. Souvent, pour s'amuser, les hommes d'équipage prennent des albatros, vastes oiseaux des mers, qui suivent, indolents compagnons de voyage, le navire glissant sur les gouffres amers. À peine les ont-ils déposés sur les planches que ces rois de l'azur, maladroits et honteux, laissent piteusement leurs grandes ailes blanches, comme des avirons, traîner à côté d'eux. Ce voyageur ailé, comme il est gauche et veule, lui n'est guère si beau, qu'il est comique et laid. L'un agace son bec avec un brûle-gueule, l'autre mime, en boitant, l'infirme qui volait. Le poète est semblable au prince des nuées qui hante la tempête et se rit de l'archer. Exilé sur le sol, au milieu des huées, ses ailes de géant l'empêchent de marcher.
The Albatross, translated by George Dillon. Sometimes, to entertain themselves, the men of the crew lure upon deck an unlucky albatross, one of those vast birds of the sea that follow unwearied the voyage through, flying in slow and elegant circles above the mast. No sooner have they disentangled him from their nets than this aerial colossus, shorn of his pride, goes hobbling pitiably across the planks and lets his great wings hang like heavy, useless oars at his side. How droll is the poor floundering creature, how limp and weak. He, but a moment past, so lordly, flying in state. They tease him. One of them tries to stick a pipe in his beak. Another mimics with laughter his odd lurching gait. The poet is like that wild inheritor of the cloud, a rider of storms above the range of arrows and slings, exile on earth at bay amid the jeering crowd. He cannot walk for his unmanageable wings.
Thank you, Johnny. Next slide, please. And now Johnny will read a poem another poem in German and its English translation by Friedrich Hebel.
Schlafen, schlafen, written in 1836. Schlafen, schlafen, nichts als schlafen. Kein Erwachen, keinen Traum. Jener Wehen, die mich trafen, leisestes Erinnern kaum. Dass ich, wenn des Lebens Fülle niederklingt in meine Ruh, nur noch tiefer mich verhülle, fester zu die Augen tu. To sleep, translated by Sean Thompson. To sleep, and only sleep, and never wake and have no dreams. The bitter woes that made me weep, but half remembered fading gleams. So I, when echoes of life's fullness reverberate down where I lie, deeper enfold myself in stillness, tighter shut the weary eye.
Thank you, Johnny. Next slide, please. And now David will read a Verlaine poem in French and Johnny will read the translation in English.
Chanson d'automne de Paul Verlaine, 1866. Les sanglots longs des violons de l'automne blessent mon cœur d'une langueur monotone. Tout suffocant et blême, quand sonne l'heure, je me souviens des jours anciens et je pleure. Et je m'en vais au vent mauvais qui m'emporte de ça, de là, pareil à la feuille morte.
Autumn Song, translated by Arthur Symons. When a sighing begins in the violins of the autumn song, my heart is drowned in the slow sound, languorous and long. Pale as with pain, breath fails me when the hours toll deep. My thoughts recover the days that are over, and I weep. And I go where the winds know, broken and brief, to and fro, as the winds blow, a dead leaf.
Thank you, Johnny and David. Next slide, please. And Johnny will now read a poem in German by Rilke, along with its English translation.
Der Panther by Rainer Maria Rilke, written in 1902. Im Jardin des Plantes, Paris. Sein Blick ist vom Vorübergehen der Stäbe so müd geworden, dass er nichts mehr hält. Ihm ist, als ob es 1000 Stäbe gäbe und hinter 1000 Stäben keine Welt. Der weiche Gang geschmeidig starker Schritte, der sich im allerkleinsten Kreise dreht, ist wie ein Tanz von Kraft um eine Mitte, in der betäubt ein großer Wille steht. Nur manchmal schiebt der Vorhang der Pupille sich lautlos auf, dann geht ein Bild hinein, geht durch der Glieder angespannte Stille und hört im Herzen auf zu sein. The Panther, translated by John Felsteiner. In the Jardin des Plantes, Paris. His gaze from sweeping by the bars has worn, so thin there's nothing more that it can hold. To him there seem to be 1,000 bars, and then back of the 1,000 bars no world. The strong, the supple steps, the pacing gently, the turning in the very smallest circle, is like a dance of force around a center in which a great will, stupefied, holds still. Only at times the eyeball's curtain slides up noiselessly, an image goes in, then goes through the stillness of the limbs drawn tight, and in the heart comes to an end.
Thank you. Next slide, please. For our final reading, we'll have David reading an Apollinaire poem, followed by the English translation read by Johnny.
Le pont Mirabeau de Guillaume Apollinaire, 1912. Sous le pont Mirabeau coule la Seine, et nos amours, faut-il qu'ils m'en souviennent, la joie venait toujours après la peine. Vienne la nuit, sonne l'heure, les jours s'en vont, je demeure. Les mains dans les mains, restons face à face, tandis que sous le pont de nos bras passent des éternels regards, longs de Silas. Vienne la nuit, sonne l'heure, les jours s'en vont, je demeure. L'amour s'en va comme cette eau courante, l'amour s'en va, comme la vie est lente, et comme l'espérance est violente. Vienne la nuit, sonne l'heure, les jours s'en vont, je demeure. Passent les jours et passent les semaines, ni temps passé, ni les amours reviennent. Sous le pont Mirabeau coule la Seine. Vienne la nuit, sonne l'heure, les jours s'en vont, je demeure.
Mirabeau Bridge, translated by Richard Wilbur. Under the Mirabeau Bridge, there flows the Seine. Must I recall, our loves recall, how then, after each sorrow, joy came back again. Let night come on bells and the day. The days go by me, still I stay. Hands joined and face to face, let's stay just so, while underneath the bridge of our arms shall go. Weary of endless looks, the rivers flow. Let night come on, bells end the day. The days go by me, still I stay. All love goes by as water to the sea. All love goes by, how slow life seems to me. How violent the hope of love can be. Let night come on, bells end the day. The days go by me, still I stay. The days, the weeks pass by beyond our ken. Neither time past nor love comes back again. Under the Mirabeau bridge, there flows the Seine. Let night come on, bells end the day. The days go by me, still I stay.
Thank you both, David and Johnny, and a virtual clap for both of you. Final slide, please. And this concludes our bilingual reading. Thank you all for joining us. Professor Schulte, would you like to say a final few words?
Yes, thank you. Thank you also, Shelby, for arranging and conceiving and creating this. I would like to thank very much Johnny and David for having done a very balanced reading. While it was going on, I had the feeling I was relaxing in both languages, and that is very rewarding. And thank you again. And I hope that our future students will also become very much involved in the reading of various languages and poetry. It is poetry that communicates from one language to the other more so than immediately the prose. And therefore, once again, many thanks for this. I would also mention that after 40 years, we were able to compose and publish the history of the Translation Center in book format. And if any one of you who is listening would be involved and open the door for a gift maybe of $25, we would be happy to send you a copy of the history of the Translation Center, which now makes a difference for the study of translation in this country, and also the display how translation must be cultivated in the future in an international environment to cultivate and expedite the understanding of culture. So if by any chance you're inclined to support the Translation Center in terms of what we call dollars, we would be very happy to send you a copy of the published book after 40 years. I also would like to thank Linda Snow, who was very much instrumental in putting the slides for the proverbs together, which made me smile at certain ones that I had learned when I was a child. Der neue Besen geht besser als der alte. So these are memories of my childhood, and I want to thank Linda. I do encourage everybody to think more positively about how translation can indeed forward the communication among nations and cultures, which now, as you know, is more important than it has been in the last 100 years. So many thanks to all of you, and especially also Christy Barris, who made the visual presentation very well possible and made me involved or got me involved in this, and I enjoyed the various pictures and slides. So to everybody, many thanks, and off to the future.
And in case anybody is interested in receiving a copy of the history, I have put the link for donations in the chat box. Thank you so much.